Hello, welcome to the second video looking at the activity approvals process through the Berkshire Scouts website. If you haven't yet watched the first video, check out the link below to make sure that you can see the front end from the section volunteers will be looking at. This video is particularly designed for those involved in the approval and management of events, and so we'll pick up from there. Each of the permissions are on a district by district basis and are based on roles taken from Compass. If you can see something you think you shouldn't be able to see, or you can't see something that you think you should be able to see, either get in touch with your district commissioner in the first instance, or through the IT team help desk, and you can see there's a link on the front page here. We can then update those permissions and make sure that the right people are able to see and do what they should to be able to help frontline teams. If we dive back into the Activity Approvals app, we might well find the form that we were using earlier, or we can see that there are some that are submitted. And so if we open up the form that I started filling in earlier, we can notice so now if we open up the event, we'll notice that rather than having 4 buttons along the top, we've got 5 buttons along the top. The first 4 screens are exactly the same as we saw when a section volunteer was completing the information. So you can go back and have a look at everything that's been put in there. And then the 5th screen are the approval actions, and you can see that there are 4 areas to check off. The first one is talking about the leadership team. Second one is about activities and permits. Third one is about training and mandatory ongoing learning, and the last one is about risk assessments. In each of them we've got a comments box to be able to write something nice and encouraging. And then once you've written a note in here, there's a drop down box to say either that that aspect of the event has been approved or it's not been approved. Different members of your team, for example your district team, are able to come in and approve different parts of this. So however that's been agreed locally, the system allows that to happen. So we can save the event at this stage and come out of it, and then somebody else might come in and add some other things as well. Once you've gone through and all aspects are able to be updated, we can then come through and you can see that my save button at the bottom has moved to approve. So once all 4 of those down the right hand side have been clicked as approved, we've got an approve button. You're able to use the save button, and that's fine. So the event becomes partially approved in that state, or once we've got the approve button, the event becomes fully approved. Double checks just to make sure that you're happy with doing that, and you'll notice then in the list that we've got here, our event has gone from being blue for submitted into green and joining lots of other events being approved as well. If you needed to be able to edit the event, for example, somebody has said to you, oh, I popped in something that I needed to change, you can go in and edit them once just before they've been approved. There's a system up here to be able to lock and unlock the form. It won't let me show it just now because I've already approved it, but a leader could come back in and edit an event after it's been submitted. And as long as none of those details that they update are crucial, the approval will stay there. If the event changes significantly, then one or more of those approved boxes that we saw on the final screen might go back to being blank, and we can similarly go and remove that permission. And you notice that the button at the bottom says save and revoke permission, so the event was approved. If we're now, for example, the leadership has changed, or somebody's training is no longer okay, then we can go and revoke permission and pop a note in here to explain it, and then that will be updated on the system as well. Just a reminder as well about this feature in the top left-hand corner about View Audit Trail. So the audit trail will show you everything that's happened with the event, and you can see now we're starting to build up a bit more of a story now that different approval actions have been taken. Where it says that emails have been sent, as we've mentioned in the end of the previous video, there are 3 different delivery options for emails. And the default is to get a daily update, which arrives overnight, so most people will see in the morning, but people can change it to see that every hour, or to see them immediately as well. So there may be a delay while these things are happening, depending on what people's individual settings are. It might be that you wanted to drop an additional message out to people, or you've already had a phone call, for example, about it. But it's always worth bearing in mind that what people's settings are in there will determine how soon they see information. So if the event is coming up quite soon, you might need to do something to make sure people can see it sooner. That's up to you. Hopefully through both of these videos you've been able to see that we've got a nice, smooth, user-friendly system to manage events online, to be able to duplicate them, to edit existing things, to help people work together in a team, either that as a section team or as an approval team, depending on how things are run. As with I mentioned earlier, any feedback that people have to send in is always really welcomed. The IT team help desk will help you to create a ticket and send in either any comments or future suggestions or any problems that you're coming across as well. Thanks very much for watching.